that. You guys are on point, you look start. Some of them separated the three out here. I told them what I saw, I separated the three of them out here. One of them come out here and brought his spear and took about 2 steps across there. When I asked him to look at him at a different angle here, I wanted them to notice the finish and separate yourself from the group. One individual brought their spear out here. He took about 3 steps out here, didn't have to touch the stick with his legs. He caught it in stride, and that thing was dead square and never missed a stride. And that's from your opinion out here. You're the young man with the spirit of party. Congratulations.
Our senior showmanship, cattle showmanship winner was Parker Lockhart.
Out there, you'll step back, you'll study those feet, that are just getting everything that came out of those animals, and what really separates the ones that makes it easy for you guys to, makes it easy for me to find as a judge, is the ones that does that, and makes it look very easy. Those are the ones that it's pretty easy to go ahead and grab a hold of and use for your champion. That's what the young lady to my left, congratulating her. It's very easy for her to do that. All three of them did a great job. Congratulate all three of them. We're 13 and a half in this particular class, and to get this guy this talent and functional on his feet and legs at that particular weight, had a hard time keeping my goats at 100 pounds down and functional, and this guy's 1350 and still sound and functional on his feet and legs, and huge in his bone work. He's out with forearms grounded in his rib. That is a nice functional skill to start this particular class off with. One that's really easy to look at in terms of balance and style. When you're studying from the side profile, pretty easy to start with that particular. You don't just have to wait on the Herbert skill, because there's a lot of. As we come out, select our champion out of our Heifer show, it's been fun to come out and evaluate your stock out here and work with your kids. There's some quality out in each one of these breeds out here, and I'll be the first to say there's a fair amount here that gets pretty close between, but what I've been doing throughout this particular show out here, we've been going with some heifers that's got that extra style and balance, and when we step back and we study from the side profile, as I talked before, go ahead and look out, from the side. I like them to be really smooth up through that transition from their neck to their shoulder. I like them to blend extremely good down to their top line. When we put them in motion, you really want to see that set that they got to their hop and that knee push that back in them good. And then offer us as much product as we can to them, make them extremely deep bodied, and just one that is extremely, flashy when you step back and you study it from the side profile, and just balance extremely good. There's one of them out here that does that just a notch better out here, and we'll go out and congratulate that exhibitor.
And our grand champion heifer this afternoon is our keeping the breed, which is Kendi Lockhart. Likewise, has Burlington Cooper, if you will, to bring your second place TD back into the ring, and you'll be showing for reserve grand champion heifer. Reserve grand champion heifer standard is just about in the limousine. And about the distance out, you can consider by the U.S. Traffic Authority grand and reserve grand champion.
Reserve key back in. The lineup doesn't fall off with. As we talked about before, even that particular drive, still one that I thought was really exceptional on her feet and legs. Maybe not as unique in her overall style and balance when you got back and you studied her compared to that champion, but still one that offers us a lot of good to it. There's another one out here that, I think follows type and kind of what I'm looking for out here. In terms of a female that's still neat and attractive, one that just offers us a ton of good when you step back and you study from the side profile, that extra depth that this one's got to her rear flank. just lines up really nice with our champion out here. Thought really separated that pair. You know, this one is not quite as smooth up through her shoulder. She's not quite as long and level out of her hip, but one that's still neat and attractive. She's so sound on her feet and legs. I think follows up with her champion very well. That'd have been a young man with a commercial. Congratulate him.
And reserve, grand champion, commercial heifer is Mr. Parker Lockhart.
Motion, this female just looks like she's walking on air. She's so comfortable off of her feet and legs and offers enough product when we get on the top side. Well, who's going to be our champion? Congratulations.
The commercial breed champion goes to Parker Lockhart.
Just ties the most positive pieces together for me in terms of a female that offers those traits of still looking like a female. Because the front 1/3 of her body, she's neat and attractive up through her head and neck. She blends a notch better up through her shoulder. She's more refined up through her head and neck. She's more extended in the front 1/3 of her body. I like that extra extension that she's got there from her hip at the top of her tail head. She offers me a lot more depth of body. When I study her from her side profile, you put that heifer in motion. That one is sound and flexible on her feet and legs. That female follows directly
A
behind.
number of these that you could use out here, and again, it all depends on the moment that you look at them or what they're doing, and then something, you know, as I say, sometimes the cattle just get tired of standing the way the exhibitor put them, and they move them the way they want to be set up, or that's the way they're taught to set up. And it changes the whole dynamic of between the exhibitor and the animal, just the way they look. But with that said, I've got, again, two of them, well, there's about a half a dozen of them in here that have done just a tremendous job all day long, and they've been patient, and they've been alert, and they've been attentive. They've been very, very good at their craft and their skill of getting one set up and presented and making you look at the animal. It's not about showing themselves off any way, shape, or form. It's just getting that animal set, planted in the ground, and making you look at it. So headset's right, feet are right, tops are right, tails are right. I mean, just everything is right on them. So with that, I'll go out and I'll show you the two that just do just pretty much the basic job of what bringing one into the ring and setting it up, but getting it displayed to the point where I want to see. If you could, again, give these exhibitors in the senior division a round of applause when we make our decision.
Peyton Bollinger will be your champion.
Just a couple in mind out here that I've just watched throughout the day. They've been spot on all the time here. Just minor differences between each one in regards to technique and that. But again, ring awareness of where I'm at, where they're at, where their heifer or steer is at, and just what they need to be doing and how they need to be doing it. They're just really, really good out here, and then they could show it on a national level, like at junior nationals, or you go to a big national show and open or to junior, they could certainly hold their own weight in a competitive class out there. So what I'm going to use that fit together most for me, and especially out here right now, is the young lady with this black heifer right in front of me. Give her a hand. And the young lady right behind her with the Herbert heifer. She'll be reserved. And give these two young ladies a round of applause if you would, please.
Your champion, intermediate, Kennedy Lockhart, and your reserve champion, intermediate.
At the Muskogee County Fair. And again, as I said at the onset, it's been my honor and pleasure to be asked to come up here to do this. It always is a pleasure to work with young people. And again, as I said in the heifer show, I'll say it in the steer show also, our numbers weren't quite as wide in the steer show. But again, remember, this is a county show here. And again, our 5-class winners out here, certainly there's competitiveness at a higher level than your county show. And again, you remember, just tell yourself, Doug, it's a county show here. You're happy to see what's out here, and I'm more than pleased with what we got out here for our class winners. Good event out here, and again, I won't go through it say it because that should just be an exercise in redundancy as we go down the line here. But again, the cattle are good at the ground. You get up above that, those steers look like they're going to be good feeders down to our heavyweight down here, which is pretty much fed out at his end point. Again, they've developed well. They have the chance to develop better or even more on the lighter weight cattle. Again, time and maturity tells that. But again, those cattle fit in there wherever their weight class is going to be very, very nicely. So with that said, again, I want to thank the Muskogee County group for inviting me up here. All who put on the show, Connor State Group, and again, the exhibitors and the, well, steer show, the owners. I mean, let's just face it, I called something else something a little bit ago. So, but anyway, all of you that are involved, and again, kids, don't forget to thank the ones who brought you here, got you here to this point, and hopefully points beyond. I know you got big events coming up here. So with that said, best of luck to you. It's been a great show. It's been a pleasure. I'll go up, select our grade and reserve, give these kids and all the people involved in the show a round of applause, if you would please.
Ladies and gentlemen, your grand champion market steer, exhibited by Kennedy Lockhart of the Fort Gibson FFA.
Differences in types and kinds out here in condition and handling and degrees of muscle shape and design as we got in numbers, the increments of weight out here. But again, steer that wins the class does so undeniably. This one is just ought to be really competitive further on down the road. He's really competitive in this class. It's kind of hard not to use him to win this class. Again, just start at the ground first, and he covers his track well. His joint work is good. Body balance, and here we got one here that has body balance, structural correctness, all the shape and width up high and down low and back, behind and in front, and everything ties together. And that's what the complete package is in this steer that wins the class. He does so rather handily, and then he doesn't disappoint you when you get your hand on it. Red steer, the Hereford Mark steer, comes next in line. Combination you want. I've got a combination in mind here for me. And again, it just gets down to a game of inches and nitpicking and splitting hairs is what it does. But again, high quality cattle, higher quality set of kids. Give them a round of applause. Give all yourselves a round of applause and all that put on the show here on the heifer side. And we'll go out and select the grand and reserve. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, your supreme heifer, Kennedy Lockhart of the Fort Gibson FFA. This time we're bringing Caitlin Skiles, Joseph Davis of Midway 4-H. Your champion Hereford heifer, exhibited by Isaiah Salee of the Boron FFA. Your champion Scimitar, also exhibited by Isaiah Salee of the Boron FFA. Your champion AOB is going to be exhibited by Kennedy Lockhart of the Fort Gibson FFA. And rounding out your field of champions, champion commercial heifer, exhibited by Peyton Bollinger of the Fort Gibson FFA. Thank you.
Better set of kids that showed them. So that's the encouraging thing there. But again, there's I'll pick a pair, and then I guess we pick 2 more for sale, and then some more alternates, and we'll go through that so we can keep on moving with the show. But again, the what I do appreciate about it for a county fair show at this level, all of the cattle I have out here in this lineup are sound. And that's a very, very good thing. You got big bred heifers, you got young calves, you've got intermediate females, you got heifers that are a year old. Everything is sound. All their feet point forward, their joint work is good, skeletons are good. So just to commend the breeders, and hopefully it's some of you kids that are the breeders, parents and owners of these cattle, for bringing just a really nice set of females here in our ALB division for the Muskogee County Fair. And you got to remember, it's a county fair, and I've done some of them. I don't do a lot of county fairs, but done some where you hope you just have one, and we got a whole bunch of them out here. So give them a round of applause, and I'll select the champion.
Congratulations, Kennedy Lockhart is going to be champion AOB.
This is a division of keys, or a class of keys. Here we range from an April of 2021 up to an October of 2020 in regards to the cattle out here. But again, now overall style and balance, elegance, and type and kind of what you look for in females, especially at this stage of the game. This one's pretty much on target here. Very eye-appealing, very eye-catching, very striking on the pose, then doesn't disappoint you when she gets on the move. Get in front of her, get behind her, very, very good in her overall makeup and design, skeletally, phenotypically, and also from a muscle standpoint. Young lady's done a nice job. Young man's heifer that comes next in line is in October of 2020. Go ahead and lead her on out. Again, a big stout-made female, maybe not as charismatically advantageous.
Ladies and gentlemen, your supreme heifer, Kennedy Lockhart of the Fort Gibson FFA. Bank.
All right, next up with the reserve breed champion commercial heifer representing the Fort Gibson FFA, going to be Parker Lockhart.
All right, 5 to bid, 600 by 100 bid, 700 to bid, 700 by bid, 7, 800 bid, 800 by bid, 800, 900, 900, 900 bid, 9 bid, 9 bid, $9 bid, 9, 8 to bid, bid 9 now, $1,000 bill, 1,000 to bid, 1,100 by bid, 11 bid, 11 bid, $11 bid, 11, who to bid 11, anybody bid 11, $1 bid 1,100 to bid, 1,100 to buy, who to bid 11, anybody bid 11, bid 11 bid 11 bid 11, $1 bid 1,100, bid 1,100, $1 bid 1,100, 1,000 1,100, 1,000 bid 1,100, notice your way, bimbo, $1,000 bill. Pizza in Muskogee, $1,000 bill. Thank you.
Weekend
champion goat Avery White from the Fort Gibson FFA.
And with the reserve grand champion commercial heifer representing the Fort Gibson FFA, going to be Peyton Bollinger.
Ladies and gentlemen, she exhibited the reserve grand champion steer from the Fort Gibson FFA. Please make welcome Holly Perry.
And now it's time to move to those that won the coveted cup of grand champion. Exhibiting the grand champion hall, representing Fort Gibson FFA, going to be Carson Osborne.
The grand champion lamb comes to you from the Oaktaw FFA, exhibited by Ty and Stacy.
And you'd always know it's a great house when there's a great house in the house. Exhibiting the grand champion goat from the Fort Gibson 4-H Reagan Great House.
Ladies and gentlemen, This young lady is no stranger to the winner's circle. She had the grand champion steer and the supreme heifer. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Kennedy Lockhart.
My name is Rowdy Fuel. Standing next to me, my partner, Mr. Arlen Immel. It is our pleasure to be here, the auctioneer.